This is Podcast 2, Electric Boogaloo, presented by your wife's favorite sports show.
And Kleenex for the messy moments in life.
Transmission sending.
It's your wifey's favorite sports show.
With Erica Fox and Austin Perry.
Yeah, so just to go over a few things. This is Niko.
Austin, over here on this channel.
All right. A little bit of backstory about me. I was raised a Protestant.
I was raised as a boy in Alabama. Yeah, exactly.
Sponsored by
Clarence Carter.
Clarence Carter and Associates.
All right.
Okay. But to give a general overview of what we're doing, for Austin likes movies.
I like movies, but Niko loves movies.
I think they're great. They're like you can escape and back to the main thing. So pretty much what this podcast hopefully will be is we have about solid 6 or 7 just different ideas for like different bits, just different segments.
Yeah. So today what we're basically going to do is we're going to cover these segments. We're going to explain them a little bit in detail. Just to consider this episode like an instruction manual to listening to us for the rest of the time that you decide to listen to us. So if you're coming in on the ground floor, like you're in luck because you're going to get all these references and stuff. If somebody comes in, 8 episodes down the line, they're going to be like, yeah, what the is going on here?
We're actually only going to have the 3 listeners decide to listen to this intro video.
That's right. 2 of them are going to be us.
Probably.
We don't know where the third one's going to come from.
Hopefully Japan.
Okay. It sure is going to be in my family.
I hope not. My family doesn't care about me.
Oh, okay. Next on Niko Therapy Hour.
Oh, that's with other podcasts.
That's a completely different
me
podcast.
Talking about my personal problems that aren't really personal problems.
Side fact, that was almost what our podcast was back in college. Remember that? We almost had you coming in as the producer, just giving us like your love life.
That actually exists. There are 3 episodes
I know.
Yeah,
let's not tell anybody about that because somebody might be dutiful enough to find that.
That sounds like a little Easter egg.
Anyway, go on.
So the first segment, of course, is the classic news. You gotta figure out what's going on. But only about prequels and sequels. So that's the most important thing about this podcast. I don't talk about new movies coming out that are actually individual. No, I don't care about unless it's a sequel, prequel, or remake, because that's what most movies are nowadays. And that's that's a culture I live in. It's a culture
you're really narrowing it down a little bit, but you do have a point. It's almost like Hollywood has kind of like become so like intellectually bankrupt, to where like they can't make anything new anymore.
Let's take Ghostbusters and make them all female, and that's fine. Except like actually the carryout was terrible because like Ocean's 8 was fine, but Ghostbusters.
Well, that's the problem. It's like anytime you make a movie. We're episode 1/4, and we're already like getting into some heavy topics. But it's like if you make something just for the purpose of to have a shtick,
it's like ruins the whole entire. There's no actual new idea. It's just like, but Chris Hemsworth shows abs a few times. Have Melissa McCarthy crack a few jokes. Kristen Wiig be Kristen Wiig.
Speaking of Melissa McCarthy, let's dive into this one a little bit.
Okay.
The Puppet movie.
I want to see it. It's not a sequel, prequel, or remake, though.
I know, but we're breaking the mold here on episode 4.
I don't know, man.
Listen. Okay, so first of all, what's it called? It's like something happy, right?
It's like the Happy Time Murders.
There you go.
Joel McHale.
There you go, man.
I don't think it's right, though.
It's Happy Time something, right? All right, he's looking it up real quick. Bad radio. He's going to look it up on his computer. But I had a friend. He's a big fan of puppets.
Actually, it's called Happy Time Murders.
Happy Time Murders?
Yeah.
All right, Happy Time Murders. So I have a friend from UCF, good friend of mine. I was in a fake band with him. Different story for a different time. But he loves puppets. He's obsessed with puppets. And he thought it was going to be a funny movie. He went to see it. Sucked. It was awful.
I still want to see it.
He said it was so bad.
Still want to see it.
And I was like, I kind of saw that coming. Like, I wouldn't pay money to go see that movie.
I would.
But hey, there you go.
If I'm drunk, though.
Niko goes to the movies. Go watch that movie. Come back. Tell me and the listeners what you think of it, and we'll dissect it from there. I think it looks.
I don't know. That's a different podcast because this podcast is prequels,
We can't just
sequels.
If we have an idea, we gotta run with it.
No. I will go see the sequel to the Happy Time Murders.
If they make a sequel,
I will come with the prequel for the Happy Time Murders. The backstory of a movie that no one will realistically see.
Hey, you know what, man?
Actually, I'm pretty sure the movie about Crazy Rich Asians. Now that one
I heard that was a good movie.
Yeah, it did actually better than Happy Time Murders for like 2 weeks in a row. So
I would hope so.
We'll go see that one since we'll get more viewers, and then we will then decide to instead make a prequel, sequel, or remake idea for it, because that's one of our segments actually. See what I did
so
there?
what's the sequel? No, the prequel will be Crazy Poor Asians, and then they get rich.
Yeah,
and then the sequel will be
Crazy Poor Asians too, because
they lose all their money in the housing boom.
It's gonna, what can you do?
Shit plays.
But that's that little idea though. We're talking about different movie sequels or prequels or remakes.
Right.
That's called pitch fit, and what we do for that segment is pretty much we come up with stupid, terrible ideas, and then we say why they should have a sequel, prequel, or remake. We cast them, come up with plot ideas for them, and hopefully the dream is to have enough viewers where you guys can start throwing us ideas, and we'll talk about them on our podcast.
Listen, dream big, man. Hopefully one day your wife's favorite sports show.
The movie Big, right? Sequel's called Dream Big, where he just dreams about being big, because he actually is having PTSD from being a kid for like a couple of years from the fact that he was an adult when he was like 12. And,
so Michael Jackson, basically.
Kind of. He can't recover. Imagine if you literally became an adult when you were 12 for
No,
2
that's
weeks.
all those movies, 13 going on 30, all the Freaky Friday. How do you handle the emotional scarring of... So let's make a sequel to all of those movies where we dive in and all of them end up at the same therapist's office.
Yeah, I feel like that would actually be a funny idea. But either way, so that's the idea. It's called pitch fit.
Pitch fit.
Yeah, because you're talking basic movie ideas and premises, and we're going to say, this is why it should have a sequel, a remake, or other, just because there are so many movies that have really weird elements that just no one wants to talk about. Like how every single age change movie, realistically, you're going to need a therapist afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, true story.
I feel like every movie can have a sequel. It's just not every movie should have a sequel.
Ghostbusters, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
have you seen Ghostbusters 2?
The actual 2?
The actual, not the female remake. 2. Ghostbusters 2.
I did. It was a movie.
It was not good.
I think it exists for its purpose. I don't think it's terrible.
No, it's not terrible, but it's not great.
When you have Ghostbusters 1, it's just so grand.
You know what I'm waiting for? Speaking of sequels, real quick before we dive into the next topic.
That was really good.
Oh, that was your... I messed up your segue.
No,
guys,
good.
we have bad chemistry
I
right
am
now.
so good at segues, though. I didn't realize that.
All right. Let's dial it back a little bit.
Call me Tom Cruise, because the guy who actually made the segue, his name is Tom Cruise, I think. Actually, that's not true, probably.
That'd be a funny name.
Well, there's a guy named Tom Cruise who was in that one commercial, and you're a kid, I'm Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Was that a hemorrhoids commercial or something?
I hope so. So go on, sorry. Let's cut that out.
No, I don't. We're not cutting this.
Okay. No cuts.
No cuts. I mean, if you make a joke that would probably offend somebody, then I might have to cut it. Probably not, though. But where was I? I up your segue, and then it just got.
I shouldn't have called you out. My segue.
No, it's all right. It's
my fault.
I
quit.
So go on. What's your next?
So
topic?
The main point was about the female Ghostbusters. Well, you said Ghostbusters 2, and you asked me how I felt about it.
Right, but we were a little further along.
Okay. Either way, the thing about the female Ghostbusters is that we think that it was wrong. Not because it's all female. I love women. It's my favorite thing in the world.
I hate how you have to qualify. It's just man.
I know.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. It's our first episode. We
objectively, it's just not.
We have to wait until at least our 13th episode before we can make terrible things.
Right. Episode 9.
Out of the love of our heart, though. Yeah, exactly.
Moving on.
So wrong is pretty much a segment, though. We're talking about wrong. We're talking about terrible ideas or remakes or sequels or franchises that have happened or that just shouldn't. 2 of the 5 current Terminator movies. Because I still haven't seen Genesis, but it exists. I think Salvation apparently was also really bad. I actually watched that. I don't remember it, but I remember sneaking into a movie theater when I was 12 after seeing another movie, and it's this is garbage. And yeah.
You pulled the old double feature.
The old double feature.
Remember the double feature? We used to do that a lot.
Oh yeah,
I think the statute of limitations has run out on that one, but
just
man,
get a ban from Regal because they're the, only, the 4 people who listen to us just to see.
I will take my business to AMC. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they got the movies.
Yeah,
that's actually FX.
All right. Well,
sponsored by no. So that's pretty much one idea though, because there are just so many terrible movies, remakes, or sequels that are like. And, like, there are some I'm sure that we disagree with if they're bad or not.
mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how you feel. How do you feel about Spider-Man 3? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3.
Well, I wasn't aware that there was another Spider-Man 3. But,
It's underground.
Nobody knows about that one. It's a little much. I mean, there are some parts of it where I'm just like, oh, God. The dance scene.
I love it. I see exactly. See, the thing is, I love that because it makes sense. Because you look at Tobey Maguire or Peter Parker.
I know,
and, like, that's what he thinks is cool, though.
I know.
That's why it works.
I guess you have a point there, but it's like it's almost like cringe. It's the uncanny valley of camp. You know?
Yeah.
It's like you have this little ledge here where it's like the perfect amount of camp.
Right.
Like I wouldn't even know a good example, but then you have George Clooney's Batman and Robin on the other side where it's just like you're screwed. And then on the opposite side of the DC spectrum, you have Batman versus Superman.
What are you saying about Batman versus Superman?
It's not great. It's a good movie, but it's like I liked it. Hey, you want to hear a bad opinion?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Suicide Squad was an enjoyable movie.
Most people did. I'm pretty sure it's like up. I think.
No.
Did Suicide Squad make more or less money than Justice League?
I have no idea.
I think it might have made more money.
It has nothing to do with money. People tore that thing to shreds.
It has everything to do with money.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like
Ghost of Donald Trump.
There you go. Not Ghost.
No. Rest in peace, Donald Trump. But still, I mean, but no. Come on, man. You're not supposed to laugh at that. You're just supposed to move on.
Sorry.
No, but so Suicide Squad. That's like a polarizing movie, but
I mean, true. They're making a sequel. We can talk about it.
Hey, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it is definitely polarizing. I thought it was crap and garbage. I thought it was hot garbage. We can actually come up with our own rating systems when we talk about wrong.
Oh yeah, like Jeremy Johns.
Or sure,
shout out Jeremy Johns, big fan,
huge fan. Or like we can, but like it'll make a little bit more sense though, because I don't know exactly where Buy It on Blu-ray lands in the whole.
Yeah, he made a video one time explaining it.
Yeah, I still didn't get it. Like maybe I'm just stupid, but like it happens. Anywhoozy, but we'll talk about. Main point is about the wrong segments. We'll talk about different movies and how we feel. Maybe we'll disagree.
So that was a little taste. That was a little some Chianti,
Yeah, there you go. A little bit. Wet your beak.
Yeah, wet the beak a little bit.
Just doesn't until you come up with like better, just more drawn out, written out.
Side note: does wet the beak sound like a sexual term? I've always thought it sounded sexual.
Okay, you birds?
No, I mean like wet the beak a little bit, like kind of like just the tip,
I mean, fair. Yeah, I guess it is.
Right?
Yeah.
I've always thought every time I hear that, I kind of giggle a little inside.
That's weird. I will now have another.
Yeah. Now every time you hear wet the beak, you're just like, all right, well,
I hope
it's time to go.
Nope. Yeah.
Check, please.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Speaking of check, please.
Hey.
That's probably some movie.
Oh, I thought you had a good segue going.
I was trying to. So,
okay. Yeah. Well, what's our next topic then?
Our next topic is Secret Universe. So our next segment idea so far is pretty much where, there are a lot of weird things that people think are connected. Like being John Malkovich is apparently in the same universe as Get Out. Because they have like a similar, like one actress is the same in both movies and they both deal with like basically being trapped inside minds.
Okay.
So like Secret Universe, we're going to try to like come up with our own that are just like really out the wall. That make probably no actual sense.
Mm-hmm. Like Freaky Friday and Big. They end up at the same therapist office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And so, like, instead of like pitching a movie, though, we'll just talk about like why they're connected, and we'll defend to the death why they're definitely connected.
See, I don't really like confrontation or debate, but hey, I'm in.
Yeah,
You're about to see a grown man get very uncomfortable.
Oh, that sounds like every day in my line of work.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yep.
So
proctology.
Yeah. That's segue.
Segue.
Next topic is.
But it's the classics, man.
But it's the classics, man.
Yeah. So pretty much, we will actually watch a old movie an original, like Seven Samurai, because there have been like 30,000 remakes of it in the last like 10 years, it seems. We'll talk about like, the original Scarface, or like pretty much movies that are remakes that just no one knows about. No matter how terrible or old or dated they are, we will watch it, or we'll try to watch it, and then we'll just talk about just how weird it is compared to the fact that they did remake it.
Try being the operative word, because I am going to be completely frank with you right now. I despise like any movie made before like 1970.
When did Tom Cruise start acting?
It has nothing to do with that.
When did Tom Cruise start acting?
81,
Okay.
80, somewhere in that range.
Fair
Look,
enough.
it has everything to do with the fact that I don't know. It just, I can't get on board with like most black and white movies, and I know 1970 is not the cutoff date for that, because you have like, Cool Hand Luke and stuff like that, but it's just something about it. Like the aesthetic just does not appeal.
So like you wouldn't watch the Dirty Harry movies?
Well,
with Clint Eastwood?
Some of them, yeah, but some of them came out after 1970.
That's okay, fair enough.
So like 1970 is not a hard line. Okay. I'm just trying to make a point. Like,
okay, I get you.
Like black and white, like Gone with the Wind. I'm not going to sit down and be like, yeah, Gone with the Wind. Let me watch.
What if we came with a sequel for Gone with the Wind?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What?
I've never seen Gone with the Wind.
Me neither.
But I'm sure there's a sequel to be made from it.
Yeah.
She leaves.
Look, we're not film majors. We just like movies, okay?
Yeah. We're a bunch of schlubs.
Yeah.
Speaking of schlubs, though, what if we weren't schlubs?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, speaking of what ifs, segue.
Oh, really reaching on that one.
There we go. Basically, the next segment is what ifs. Pretty much what we do is we talk about like what could have been. Like Nicolas Cage was almost in a Tim Burton Superman movie, and there's lots of information about things like that, or about like Spider-Man 4 that was pitched but never made by Sam Raimi, or like non-comic book things that also were sequels that were probably thought up of, like a Forrest Gump sequel that was actually almost made. They actually have a book called Forrest Gump 2 called Gump and Co. Very, very delightful read. But they almost made a movie about it.
Is this a joke?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally true. It's actually a good book too. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's a weird one.
That's why we're here though.
Yeah, you're right.
Because now someone listening is like, wow, there's something called Gump and Co. Either way, main point though, we'll go back. We'll talk about those. Like what kind of weird effect it would have had. Like, what if Gump and Co. just influenced America, and we would have gotten like John McCain as president instead?
That's good. That's like butterfly effect stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like just small things that could have happened because like a movie could have changed a whole.
Yeah, like alternate history. Another YouTube channel favorite of mine.
Yeah, I do appreciate that one. Yeah. But pretty much that's what I think are first 5 or 6 ideas that we really have.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll come up with more.
Yeah, it's not an exhaustive list by any stretch of the imagination.
But, it's a little sandbox to build our castle and start.
Just gonna wet the beak a little bit.
I just don't like that anymore. But yeah, no, I'm Niko.
I'm Austin.
And this is podcast 2, Electric Boogaloo.
All right, signing off.